Hi, this is Go For It Randy. Now, I don't know if you know, but we are living in the end times. If you look around and see all of the horrific acts and things that are taking place globally right now, you would know that we are in the end times if you know biblical prophecy. What you might not know is that there is going to be a day where all of the demons from the pits of hell are going to be released, and they're going to be walking around earth. Now, there's literally thousands of spirits flying around in the air here in this one photograph, and that's me, by the way, on my patio. And I want you to know one thing. 7 years ago, God healed my body, and for some reason, He gave me some gifts that no one else was walking around with. One of the gifts He gave me was the gift of discerning spirits. So I literally could see spirits with my naked eyes, okay? I've seen thousands of them with my naked eyes, and I could photograph them. And the thing is that God gives out gifts of the Spirit to certain people here on earth. And I believe my mission 7 years ago was to expose the darkness that exists down here on earth in this supernatural spiritual realm. I took this photograph in the middle of nowhere. Check this out. There's literally thousands and thousands of spirits literally hovering in the air right there so I could take a photograph of them. Now, part of this is not what I would call godly, all right? Because part of this went to the opposite side, all right? Meaning, I believe these beings were attracted to me. Okay, I believe the devil knows when God gives gifts of the spirits to certain people, and the devil wants to corrupt you. So literally, the devil made it so easy for me to take photographs like this that I could take them 365 days a year. And I did it 365 days a year for 5 years until Jesus came back into my life and said, Randy, wake up and stop doing this. All right? So basically, I was put on this earth to show people fallen angels, to show people demons and devils and spirits, unclean spirits, so that you would wake up in these last days and people would know, hey, you know what? We live in a supernatural spiritual realm down here. Maybe God is real. Maybe God is up above this spiritual realm that we live in, watching over us, watching us and seeing exactly what we're doing down here. Because we sure know one thing, Satan is down here with all of his minions, okay? He has demons and devils and all kinds of things. I could stick my hand out, okay? And literally anyone could touch my hand. And even though they'd never taken a photograph of a spirit before, instantly they would be connected. Like this guy right here. He took a photograph, couldn't take any pictures of spirits. Then he touched my hand. Instantly, you can see on the camera here that spirits showed up in the form of orbs. And I don't know exactly what orbs are. I just think they're probably spirits from animals, unclean animals, little devils. I'm not exactly 100% sure where orbs are coming from and exactly who they are. And then Jesus supernaturally entered into my life and stopped me from conjuring orbs anymore. So I gave that up over 3 years ago for Jesus Christ. I literally turned away from this whole thing. Now you're looking at what looks like a fairy. Now I don't know for sure if this is a fairy. What I can tell you is look at how it's flying. It's in a vertical position. I don't know of any being that has wings that can fly in a vertical position and hover. Not only that, this thing can take off and do things that are just quite puzzling. One of the things that it does is it has some kind of internal power inside this thing. And I don't know if it has the ability to do some kind of supernatural effect or something or what this is, but there is some kind of, look at that. Did you see the light come on there? This thing has some kind of power. Now, as you take a look there, you can see his 2 legs are lit up like it's some kind of power unit or some kind of a thing that gives him some kind of propulsion to take off and go faster or something. I don't know exactly what all has taken place with this thing. What I can tell you is this is an actual physical being that's here in our reality today. And I don't understand how a demon can do that, because it's very difficult, I believe, for a demon to come into our reality in some kind of a physical body right now. This was taken several years ago by a friend of mine who was into this kind of stuff. So I want you to know that we are living in a world filled with demonic beings in it. Now I want to share something about orbs with everyone because I happen to be one of the foremost orb photographers in the world. And you clearly can see orbs out in the sky over there. This is daytime. And look up at the ceiling underneath my balcony here. You can see tons of orbs hiding underneath my balcony here. So I want you to know that orbs are not what you think they are. If you'll see here, you'll see a lot of orbs, but you're going to notice something very unique in this one photograph that no one else has ever shown you before. And that's that orbs can shapeshift. That's right. They can shapeshift into these little demons or devils. I'm not sure exactly what they are. Is it a devil? Is it a demon? Is it some kind of unclean spirit that can shapeshift into some little demonic being? Look at this guy in the center there. You can see the eyeball there, and then you can see what looks like a big mouth opened up. Look at this guy over in the lower right-hand corner down here. He has like purple hair, and he has like a mustache or a Fu Manchu kind of thing. I mean, these things look like cartoon characters, but this is real life. This isn't a cartoon, okay? These beings are flying around in our atmosphere and people have no idea, okay? But because I can see these things, I happen to be able to photograph them. And because they're not afraid of me or whatever, so for some reason these things were attracted to me for many, many years. Well, guess what? I got my camera out and started showing it to everyone. And I started to expose these to the world. The problem was that along the way, people started telling me, hey, Rand, you could be some kind of guru and go out there and connect people with orbs. So that's what I started to do because I started hanging out with New Agers. And guess what? There was not one New Ager that I ever met that I felt had 1/10 of the kind of spiritual gifts that I had, okay? Nobody was showing me anything. No one was taking photographs like this. No one could take the videos that I could take. So I want you to know there are demons and devils running around in this world as orbs. So some of the orbs could be very innocent little animals that somehow are just flying around in their spirit body. But I believe there are some that are demons and devils, and you're looking at them right now, I believe. Now, years ago, back then, when I would go on vacation and stay in a hotel like this one, I'd go outside to see how many orbs were above the hotel, and sure enough, there would always be literally thousands and thousands of orbs that were above me. At that time, I thought they were there to protect me. I didn't know what was really going on back then. Now, above this pool is a giant from another dimension, literally either a fallen angel or a Rephaim or a Nephilim. Not sure exactly if it's a demonic being of some kind or a specific one. But I can tell you what you're looking at is a demon of some kind. And it could even be the big guy. Satan, that guy. The guy that literally runs this place right now temporarily until Jesus comes back with all his saints. That will be me too as well. You're looking at a face on this giant that's at least 20 feet wide. Do you see his eyes there? Can you see it? These things are like some of the ugliest beings that you could ever imagine. But he's got two eyeballs there clearly on the screen there. See that one there? Now, if you look over here to the right in the upper right-hand corner, that is a horn, a devil horn. Yeah. But not like with your hand kind of symbology. We're talking about the real horn from either the devil or some kind of minion that the devil has as a servant, okay? One of the Satan's servants. So this is a giant, and this is the kind of being that is going to be walking this earth in a flesh body, okay? So there are going to be people in a few years from now that are going to see beings like this walking the earth. Now, I already saw this being a few years ago up close. I was only about 30 feet away from him. And again, the bottom of his chin is about 3 stories off the ground. This thing has to be, 75 feet to 100 feet tall. And he's just bending over, mocking me. Now, I had a guy that was standing next to me. This guy basically, I don't want to tell you what he did in his pants, but basically he had to have his shorts thrown away because he couldn't use them again, if you know what I mean. Scared the living daylights out of him. He never was the same. He was standing right next to me and saw this. Now, I was there and I just laughed at this guy. So I do not fear anything. I do not fear giants from another dimension that could do something to me if I wasn't protected by Jesus Christ. 7 years ago, I asked Jesus to protect me, and he has been protecting me ever since. So I do not fear anything from anywhere or anywhere down here on earth. We're living in a spiritual realm down here, and you need to wake up, because all of these beings that are living down in the pit right now, and once in a while, for some reason, they get to come up out of the pit in their disembodied spirit and do a little bit of, I don't know what they do. I think this guy was trying to definitely scare me, and he didn't scare me at all. Again, I was laughing at him. So I want you to know, this is the being that got me to come to Jesus Christ, because I knew this guy was real. I decided to go right to Jesus. How would you like to run into a gigantic snake? Well, I did, from another dimension. What you're looking at here is the head of what I believe is a gigantic serpent or a snake. And he is literally no more than 15 or 20 feet ahead of me, right in front of me, okay? He's facing me, and I happen to be facing him. So imagine facing off against a giant snake. His body is coming up from above, okay? So he's at least 25, 30 feet off the ground. His body must be up higher, because you can't even see his body. So this is what I have to deal with, and what I've had to deal with, and I want everyone to know. These beings are going to be coming to earth and coming out of the pit, but they're going to have a physical body. Now, I could spend a whole day on this photograph. You're seeing what looks like a 7-story structure, and you're looking at right now the face of what I believe is a fallen angel. He has a dark beard, he has 2 eyes and a nose, and this is one of the most bizarre things you'll ever see. I believe a giant snake or a serpent. You see that in the center there? That looks like some kind of a giant fang there. And if you'll look, it looks like his mouth is wide open. And this giant fang is at least 20 feet tall, okay? And if we do brighten it up and we do a little contrast, you can clearly see the distinction there. This looks like a snake, a giant snake that's going off into the distance to the left. You see his body there? And you see the fang, that curvature in the fang right there. But look at that. That's a big mouth there, okay? It's big enough to drive a semi-truck through the mouth of this serpent being, all right? And I was standing no more than 35 feet away from this thing. So I got to tell you, demons and devils are real. Now, again, the whole point of this video is to show you what's going to come out of the pit, because these beings are in spirit form, disembodied spirits. I don't know what this thing is above my patio here, but it's 30 feet off the ground, and I would say this is the closest thing to something that gives birth to orbs. That's the closest thing I can tell you, because when you get up close to this thing, you'll notice something. There are orbs coming out of it. I've never seen anything like this before. I don't think anyone on earth has ever seen this thing before, ever. So what you're looking at is pure strangeness from the pit, most likely. But this is on the other side waiting for you, when the Bible says somehow the pit is opened up and the gates are opened up, and these beings that are going to be in physical form are going to come out of the pit. So it's not just going to be some kind of spirit. It's going to be actual physical beings here on earth. Now, the purpose of this video was to share with you real demons, real spirits, real beings that come from the other side, the dark side, that are going to be coming up out of the pit, the abyss, okay? So the Bible says there's going to be giants walking this earth in the end times. We are in the end times right now. And within 1, 2, 3 years, maybe 4, there's going to be giants in physical bodies and spirits all over the earth that are going to come out of the pits from hell, okay? The abyss, okay? They're going to come flying up out of there, and they're going to show you without any question that these beings are going to have some authority on this earth for a little while, because those of you who are not protected by Jesus Christ, you're going to have one heck of a time trying to fend off giants that are 30, 40, 50 feet tall and beings like locusts with stingers that can sting you. It's not going to be a pretty experience. It's not going to be fun down here. And all I can say is, if you come to Jesus now, you will be raptured up out of here before that ever takes place. And you will never have to experience all that negative energy, all of that negative experiences, all of the bloodshed and the pain and agony that's going to take place over the next 7 years down here on earth. All right? So if this hasn't opened your eyes up, that real beings, spirits from the other side, the dark side, are here on earth, then you need to check in and find out what's really going on. You need to pick up a Bible and check out what it says in Revelation about what's coming your way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Go For It Randy. I want to thank everyone for watching. Please stop by my channel at Go For It Randy and check out all the other videos. I have a brand new pre-tribulation explained video that will show you verse by verse that we are going to be raptured up pre-tribulation. For those of you who don't believe, it's time you read the scriptures. I want to thank everyone for watching. God bless everyone.